Welcome back to my channel. It's Ryan from Mama's Got a Budget, and thank you so much for joining me. So in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and do my March mid-month debt check-in. Now, if you guys remember at the end of February, where we calculated all of our total debt and everything, I did a whole blog post on it. That'll be linked in the description down below. I use that as a blueprint. I did it on purpose to use as a blueprint, as a starting point, as like, these are your numbers, this is your top line, right? So every month from then, when we're tackling this debt, we're going to hopefully shave off of those totals. I'm not giving myself a date just yet where I want to be debt free by this date because I want to do this by this date or anything like that. I'm just putting the steps in motion to be able to not be so nauseous, you know, when I look at my debt number for now. But we are taking those steps, so if you want to join me in today's video, then go ahead and we're gonna see where we are for our debt, and let's see how well this goes putting it on YouTube. So as you guys know, March here on Mama's Got a Budget is all about debt. We're talking about debt, ways to tackle it, ways we can save money, things that we can do to not feel so tied down by this debt, right? So I kicked it off first, and I let you guys know that I am about $81,000 in debt. Now, not all of that is just like frivolous spending or I don't care or, you know, doing things like that. I do have credit cards. I do have credit card debt. But majority of it, a big chunk of that is from college. It's my student loan. Now, if you read the blog post, then you would know that I said that even though that number just is daunting just to look at, it doesn't come without pride. I was the first one in my family to attend and graduate from a 4-year university, and that is something that I can say that I did. That's an accolade of mine. That is something that I stood up on that stage. I accepted that diploma, and I was the first one from my family to be able to do so. But now we're looking at it, you know, 10 years later, and we're trying to tackle it at the same time. So it's kind of discouraging, but then again, we can't forget where we came from. So I'm paying off that debt with pride, if that makes sense. So we're going to go down. Oh, is this zoomed in too much? We're going to go down the list and we're going to look at these numbers again. So if you're new to my channel, I like to have 2 setups because we have commitment issues over here, okay? I don't know whether I want to be face-to-face and then like just be talking about arbitrary numbers, or to have you just looking at my hands all day and then you see my face one day and you're like, bitch, who are you? So we do both. We do both here on MGB. I like to chat with you on my left, and then you can see what I'm doing here on the overhead shot. Now, y'all know I love a good grid. I love a good list. I love a good spreadsheet. I love a good insert. I wasn't planning on doing this. This is why it's a full sheet of paper. I didn't even cut it out and punch it and put it into my planner yet because I think that I'm going to redo it. I just sat down right before this. I was like, I think I need a visual. What do I need for a visual? And I was like, oh, I can just have this. Then this turned into this, and it's like a snowball effect. So here we are. So we're going to use this as kind of like a template as to where we are. So let's recap this whole debt journey that we started last month. Last month, I let you guys know where I was. Again, I'll have a link to the blog post down below if you want to see the exact breakdown of where all these $81,000 go. Like literally it's $81,000, y'all. I'm not lying. Where it all goes. And then I was able to calculate all of the money that I made online from February in my first ever February online income report, and take that and toss it toward debt and make a good sized debt payment for me. At least it was more than I was paying, right? So it was a good sized debt payment for me, and now we are here. We're here to check back in. I have it broken down like this, and we're just gonna go. Credit cards. American Express is my first one. We are at $81 present day. These are all present day full amounts. We are at $81.37. Now, if you saw my last video, which was the mini mid-month check-in, then you know that this was completely paid off, right? But then we kind of had like a budget fail where I paid for our meal at Cheesecake Factory. So then that 0 balance turned into an 8137 balance, which we're going to turn around and pay off on the next video, which will be the cash stuffing for March. So we'll get there. So we're at 8137 for Amex. Capital One Quicksilver, we are at $1,753.53 as our total. Capital One Platinum, we are at $0. I use this one for my business expenses, but I was able to put aside money for savings from my February online income to be able to go back into that. So once the fees hit, I'll just pay it from there, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but yeah, let's go with that. So we're at 0 for Capital One Platinum. So for well, we'll just total it all up at the end. It's fine. Dr. S is my dentist, and we still owe him money. We owe him $3,392.45. Student loan, Navient is the big bitch. We owe him, because men are trash, so we're going to name him him. We're going to call it a him. $56,638. Now, if you saw the blog post, you know that that is not quite what we paid off, and that's due to interest. You know, interest is compounded daily on loans like this, so it's kind of like a forever catching up thing until the loan matures, and then you can peace out. But until then, the interest is going to continue to accrue daily. And then the last thing I owe is on my car. For my car loan at CarMax, I am at $18,035 even as of today, and that is pretty good. Let's add this all up and let's make sure we are at 0 this time. Okay, 0 0 0 0 0. We got 8137, 1753, 53. Then we got 3392. 45, then we got 56,638, then we got 18,035. We're at $79,900.35. So we're officially under $80,000, guys. We started at 81, now we're here. 79,900. Oh well, you $99.65 too short, and 35 cents in our debt check-in. So not I feel kind of indifferent about it, because I know it's not as bad as some people, and I know it could be looked at as bad because, like, I don't even own a house. It's kind of like I don't have any big purchases to show for it, you know? But what I do have is right here. It's in a frame. It's in my heart. It's in my head. It's in my legacies, you know? So it's kind of a give and take again. So there we are for our mid-month check-in for March. It's $79,900 again. So I wanted to show you guys, like, I didn't just want to leave you high and dry, like, okay, peace out, bye. So I want to show you how I track my debt, right? And so once again, I'm hitting y'all off with a freebie. That's right. If you have made it this far in the video, then you can check the description bar for my debt repayment tracker. This is what I specifically use to track my debt. That's why it's called a debt repayment tracker. Hey! So I'll zoom in a little bit. So we have here in my budget, let's just go through it. Why am I yelling? I don't know. Okay, in my budget binder here, which is a happy planner, right? I think I'm looking into, because I have had questions about selling my setup type thing, so I'm looking into having things like that. Let me know if you would be interested in doing something like that, and if you would want like a physical item shipped to you, or like printables for you to be able to print. I don't know, let me know. So in my budget binder, right, I have this tab called trackers. Right, these are the tabs I made. It's called trackers. If you flip back here, I have debt repayment tracker, and this is what I made to be able to track my debts. So I'm going to show you specifically my dental debt tracker, how I track it every time I make payments, because it's harder to do when you have like cars and student loans or mortgages that compound daily, things like that. But with set amounts and set rates, it's easier to track, you know? So this is where we were. Our payoff goal for this one specifically, I did give myself a payoff goal of next year. If I'm starting here and I'm paying this every month, theoretically I should be able to pay it within like 10.5 months, I think, but I just gave myself a year just in case, some wiggle room. So I have up here just a title, then the debtor, Dr. S, and then the payoff goal box for that, your account number if you want to put it there, and your starting balance. We started off with $3,992.45 owed to the dentist, and then I have just columns here for date, if it's plus or minus. It should be a minus, but if you do have to add interest or anything like that, you can do a plus. Amount, balance, and a notes / confirmation number. So if you want to look here, like on my last one, when I got paid, I didn't even get to the dentist until the 7th, which was like a whole like 4 days after I filmed. But I physically go into his office and drop it off, and then they're closed on Wednesdays. So then, yeah, that's what had happened. So on the 7th, right, I went in and I paid $150, and our previous balance was $35.42. Paid $150. We're at $33.92.45. And then in the notes, since I don't have like a confirmation number or anything, they give me a receipt, but I don't write that down. I just write cash, and then I put from 228 payroll, so I know like where I'm using it from. So I'm like, okay, I paid that $150, but did I pay it late? And was that from the 15th or the 20th? So I like to write it down here. So if you guys would like something like this, you guys can have it. There's like a net. You guys can have it. It's in the Dropbox link down below, and then on the back I just have the same thing, but it just doesn't have the title portion, and you can keep going. So if your debts keep going, girl, you keep going. You print out as many pages as you need until you pay those bitches off. Let me tell you. So that's how I use my debt repayment tracker, and once again I started with the starting balance up here, and I just keep subtracting here, and it's really, really satisfying just to see this balance go down. Let me tell you, even though I'm just making like small dents, once that hits 2, bitch, you won't be able to tell me nothing. Once it hits 1, I'm wearing booty shorts, and once I'm done, like, I'm not coming back. Hopefully I don't have to go back. So yeah, go ahead and download this freebie from the link below in the Dropbox, and go ahead and pick up that other freebie from the other video that I posted, the like the starter budget printable too. That's on there too, so you can go ahead and grab both. This one's going to be size for the classic happy planner though, specifically, just because that's what I use and that's what I have available and that's what I can do real quick. If you guys want other sizes, then let me know. If the demand is there, I'll start adding more sizes and going forward, but until then I'll just include the happy planner size, classic happy planner size. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys was how this debt payment impacted my score. Now, like I said, I'm going to pull up just the blog post real quick so you can see. Here. $81,589.99, right, is where we started. And I want to show you guys how going from 81,000 down to 79,000, which includes those payments that I was able to make that hit my account from the February online income report, how that was able to change my credit score. Let me make sure there's nothing on the screen that's too crazy. Okay, so are you guys ready? Just from making the, let me look. Let me go ahead and tell you the exact numbers that I was able to make. I paid an extra $131.50 on my car, $379.29 on my platinum, $613 on my Quicksilver, and then those other payments from the first part of March as well. Yeah, those hit as well. We got, where is it? 109, oh, sorry, 109.89 there. Hello, focus. $109.89 there, and then the $21.39. I checked those off because I made them and they cleared. So from making those payments, my credit score went up. Focus. 68 and 78 points. Can you guys see that? And that is all that I did, was make those payments. So even though I had a couple fails in the beginning part of the month, you know, where I went over on a couple categories or whatever, and then I got this cold and I was like, oh, like dreading, and everything was just like dragging on, just to know that my hard work is paying off in my score, and that it's not because, like last time this happened, it was because I put my student loans into deferment, and I checked and all the accounts are still open in my student loans, so it's not because of that. And so to know like this is gonna stick this time is, I mean, I don't know, I was so happy. So yeah guys, that's it. I just want to share with you where we are for the middle of the month as far as debt. Remember, March is debt month here on MGB, so if you have any debt questions, I think I want to end the month with doing like a debt Q&A, so go ahead and leave any questions down below. Check out the blog post so you can see where I started from. Leave any requests for any other sizes, like if you want any other sizes for the freebies. Right now, like I said, it's just Happy Planner, but let me know. Hopefully I can keep these videos going. If you do want to see these monthly debt check-ins, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you're interested in money talk, debt talk, credit talk, budget talk, cash talk, things like that. Moving out of your mama's house talk. Like, let's get it going. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.